Well, ladies and gentlemen, interesting timing for this interview because today the Tough 33 rosters were announced, but with me today is the winner of Tough 32, Ryan Loder. Ryan, how we doing, man?
Great. Thanks for having me on the show, Jake.
Oh, of course, thanks for taking the time. And before we actually get into you and everything we have to talk about, I am curious about next week. A couple of your guys are fighting in Seattle, am I right? We got Anthony Hernandez and Song Yadong. You know them pretty well?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Andre Feely is also fighting on that same
Yeah,
card.
Andre Fili, yeah, yeah. So, do your guys go 3-0 there? What are your thoughts on their fights?
Of course, they go 3-0. To be fair, I mean those guys I work with a lot, like of the team. The team's so big that you kind of have separate guys that you kind of work with closely. And Song is one person that we've been working a lot of Saturdays with, and um, Andre Feely is another guy that we've worked a ton of. Just he travels places, comes back, and gives us feedback, and we go over a lot of stuff. And um, obviously, Anthony Hernandez is my main training partner, so he's going to run through that dude.
And I actually talked to both Song and Anthony leading up to this one. Song,
Awesome.
it was funny. He said he's enjoying some of the smack talk. He's enjoying the Cejudo comments there. Is he giving off that vibe in the gym?
Song is such a warrior, man. He's like when you work with him, he's just like he doesn't talk. He just does stuff, and he does it at the highest level every single time. So um, it's funny to hear him say that he likes the smack talk because he's just like so focused every time, and nothing really distracts him. So maybe that kind of plays into his game of okay, let's go, because he's one of the most focused people I know, which is something to say when you're in this world.
He literally told me he learned English so he could participate in smack talk.
His English is getting so much better. Yeah, he had an interpreter for a while, and I don't know why he used it. Like
Yeah.
why, I think it was his baby.
And then real quick too, Fluffy, he's one of the more just chill Zen guys I've talked to. I don't understand it. I do some training, some competition, nothing like that, but I'm not chill. I get nervous. I'm a wreck. Like, is he always like that? Is he always just very Zen?
Yeah, he's off and on. Like when he's on, he's training, he's 100%, and the dude's a killer. But when he's off the mat, nothing really bothers him. He just kind of go with the flow type guy. So, um, yeah, I would. He's definitely don't mess with him because he has a switch that he flips, and when he gets on the octagon, he definitely flips that switch, and it's exciting to see because normally I go with him and he keeps it on like the low side, so we're not going too hard. He doesn't kill me out there, but when he gets to let everything go, and he's amazing to watch. Yeah, dude's a phenom.
Well, hey, best of luck to those three next week. Very excited for that one. I'm actually hoping to be there, so we'll see if that pans out. But let's talk about you now. And before I actually ask you about fighting stuff, I'm curious about something else, a different endeavor in your life, if you will. You're now a part of Life Health Recovery or Health Life Recovery. Am I correct?
Yeah, mental health of San Diego and healthy life of recovery. I'm with both of those.
So I guess just explain to me and to everybody watching, what are these? What is the involvement? What's the mission statements type of deal? What are we looking at?
Well, it started with me getting involved with one of my close high school friends. We played football all the way up, and my dad was his high school coach. So when I started getting into fighting, I was looking for sponsors. He's like, "Hey, your dad really changed my life." And this is I'm talking about Ryan Witt. He's the owner of both of those, and I really want to be a part of this with you. So, at the time, he has a crazy story, and I won't get into that right now. But I didn't think I would ever hear from the guy again, and now he's helping me out being part of that. So I think the whole thing about it is struggled with mental health and through the system as a person with dyslexia, and kind of finding my own way and trying to be that person maybe now for someone else that was in my shoes, like when I was younger, to maybe be that person as a voice to be like, hey, there is a way you can get through stuff. Maybe school's not your thing, but there are ways that we can navigate, and you're still smart, you're still very capable of a lot of things. And bridging that gap in between that stereotype because they don't learn the same way for more for mental health, but you don't learn the same way. So you're stuck in a classroom and now you're getting told that you're stupid. And I'm trying to be that voice saying, hey, don't listen to those people. I was in their same shoes and I found my way. I was lucky enough to have a lot of really, really good people in my life kind of steer me in the right direction. But without those people, I would be lost. And I see a lot of kids that get lost. And I want to be with the profile and the voice that I have and being on the YouTube, being on UFC. I want to get out to those kids as much as possible and say, hey, you're okay. Like if you need someone to reach out to me. I think I've had almost 1,000 people reach out, and it's crazy. It's taken me like 3 months to try and like return all these messages and get them to the right place. And for the most part, I do breath work, journaling. Um, I do cold tub. I do like meditation. But if that's not enough, I tell them, hey, there's some great resources, and this is where the mental health of San Diego and the healthy life come in. Is like if you really need help, if you're maybe suicidal or substance abuse or bipolar or some sort, or you just don't know and you need some help, and which I've had a lot of people that said, hey, I'm on that page and I really need help, so I send them to them. But I've had other people said, hey, just doing the journaling and mental focus and getting some physical activity like martial arts or jiu-jitsu or karate or whatever has really helped my entire life, and I just want to tell you thank you. So it's been a wild ride to be a part of this journey, and for the mental health of San Diego and healthy life of San Diego to kind of pair up with me, it's been helping me a ton that I can really help people, and I give them the resources they need.
So, obviously, I'm sure you fight for the gold as well. But I'll interview some fighters and be like, "Hey, why do you do this? Money, fame, gold. I like knocking people out." A lot of the typical answers. And while, like I said, those all might be true for you, is the role model aspect important to you?
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest ones. Yeah,
And
yeah, definitely.
are your DMs open, so to speak, for people to reach out and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot to do, but it's something that I really feel passionate about.
Oh, hey, that's great, man. I love it. Is there a place people can go to find more information on these?
Healthy Life of San Diego.com and then mental health of San Diego.com, both of those. They can reach out to me. I can send them in the right place. Um, but they have, I tag them in all my posts, and hopefully that's reaching out to somebody that gets out. And I've definitely had people reach out. Healthy Life of San Diego reach out to me and said, yeah, here's a, they gave me a whole line and they said, so we'll track how many people are actually sent through you. And it's been a lot, which is cool.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And I'll make sure to link all that stuff below the interview here. And it's good that you have a giant platform like this. And I guess now a good segue is, when do we get to see this platform? When do you make that UFC debut?
Yeah, I was hoping I was gonna fight in March,
March
and
1st, it was
then
supposed to be, yeah.
it just was March 1st. I was supposed to fight Brundage, which I love that fight, and I was excited for it. Um, but injuries just happened, man. It's part of, and I wasn't healthy enough to start that camp, and I told my management they handled it, but hopefully, I mean, I'm on the mend. I'm feeling better. I'm doing practice. I'm doing everything I need to do. Schedule looks right, and I think I'm looking for that May card in Iowa if I can. That would be really exciting if I get on that one. So nothing yet, nothing, but that's like my goal, and I'm if that's the goal for it. So if I can hit that Iowa card, go back to where I went to college and get all that, and that'd be that's where I All American in the same Wells Fargo Stadium. So I would love to be on that card, but you never know with this. I'm freshly in, so wherever they tell me, I'm going to go.
Hey, man, I love it. I love the Iowa right there. And I'm a Philly guy. I know all about that Wells Fargo championship. So that'd be great, man. And you froze for a couple seconds there. I know you said injury. Are you able to say what the injury was?
No,
Say
just an
less.
injury.
Say less. That's why I ask.
Just an injury, man.
No,
I mean, you're always injured. Like in this sport, you're always injured. It's just how like what's the level and are you ready to fight? And I was pushing it too much, and my trainers were like, "Dude, this is not smart for you." And I was like, "Okay." So
Yeah. Longevity,
they
man.
told me to take it easy. That's what it is. I'll fight another day. It's okay.
Hey, understood. But do you have a name or two? I know you like the Brunage fight, but are there other people interested you for Iowa?
No, just who's ever ready. I'm okay with anybody. I feel like my style matches up really well, so I get to choose where we go. So if they're a good striker, then we'll go to the mat. If they're a good jiu-jitsu, then maybe we'll strike a little bit, and then we'll go to the mat. No.
You said you're getting that double leg regardless, brother. UFC 312 this past weekend. Did you get a chance to watch that at all?
What was that? You kind of froze up there for a
No,
second.
you're good. Yeah, yeah, we lost connection. We're back though. UFC 312 this past weekend. The championship
Yeah,
of your weight class was on the line. DDP took it. What were your thoughts
yeah.
there?
That was a beatdown. Yeah, that was a pretty one-sided fight.
Yeah.
Which is the other one was close. I mean, you could have said that Strickland maybe won the last one, but that one was kind of like a landslide. I feel like DDP got some confidence and kind of said, "I don't respect your jab anymore," and just went for it. So good strategy. It worked out. I mean, he's a tough guy to beat. I wonder where he's going to go next. I think it's next one's going to be a tough one. I'm excited to see if he goes Pereira or he goes Chimaev. Like, what's both are tough fights.
It sounds like UFC wants Khamzat. So
Yeah,
if that fight does happen, you know a thing or two about wrestling. Is Khamzat good enough on the ground to get that done?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's a bad matchup for DDP. I think he's a strong dude and he's good, but I think Hamzat is just way better at wrestling. And he didn't have that. He didn't have that versus Strickland, where he didn't have that threat. So yeah, it's an interesting fight for sure.
Now, realistically, how long until you envision yourself up there with those guys?
You just got to keep winning, man. That really, if you're winning, everything is golden. You can get there in 4 or 5 fights. If you're losing, you can never get there. So my plan is to win. Just keep winning. So 4 or 5 fights, that'll be nice. But you never know, man. There's politics in it. There's this guy does this. Maybe his Instagram's better than mine. I'm not. I'm not even interested in it. They'll tell me where to go and I'll fight somebody. And soon enough, people get online and be like, yeah, no, you don't want to fight Loder. Two, he's a great fighter and we're going to move him up. But I think being close to Anthony, I think that's going to help me a ton because they can see where I'm getting all my stuff from and how we're training and I'm leveling up. So once I go against other people that aren't Anthony style, where I see him fighting for the belt in 2 fights.
Yeah, he's close.
So I mean, he puts a beat down on this Allen, which I see happening, and then he goes right into. I mean, that's 1 or 2 fights. He's right in the mix, and I think being his training partner and then doing the same things as him, I think that puts me in the mix a little faster too. So I like it. I like where I'm at.
2 questions left from me. Number one, I don't even have this written down. I was just kind of curious. Dream wrestlers matchup would obviously be Bo Nickal and Ryan Loder. I mean, is that something that's possible someday?
Once I started fighting, once I put on gloves, everyone's like, "Oh, you got to fight Bo, man."
Yeah, people talk about it. Yeah,
Everyone talks about it because I mean it is a great fight. It was close. We almost did jujitsu against each other. It was like one or two the second jujitsu one at the UFC. My coach won against him, but it was like right right before he got in the UFC. Yeah, I wanted to feel him out because it's an interesting matchup, and it'd be fun. We both stand up, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, it'd be a striking battle for sure.
You see some mediocre striking.
Hey, it's fan service nonetheless, bro. We'd love to see it. I said I got
Southpaws, two southpaws mediocre striking each other. It'll be great.
yeah, maybe mediocre compared to like I don't know Leon Edwards, but Jesus, man, put you up against most people in the world, you're knocking them out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And Ryan, last one for me. I mentioned Tough 33 rosters came out today. DC, Chael Sonnen, interesting coaches. What
Love it.
advice? Yeah, you're the person to hear from winning the whole season. What advice do you have for a competitor? Like, there's so much that goes into it. It's not just a fight, right? You're isolated. You're stuck with these guys. What do you tell someone going into this madness?
Well, I was lucky enough to be around being from Team Alpha Male, a couple guys that were in it, and then Ricky won it. So I heard from him. Be involved in everything. You know, don't isolate yourself. Don't think that, oh, I'm going to be tougher than everyone else. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm just be involved in the process and enjoy it, and don't try and fight the everybody. Just, you know, be in it and journal, breathe, breath work, get your mental state, because everyone, I say it's like fancy prison. It's like what I think like Martha Stewart went through or something, that, you know, you got cameras on you the whole time. You're mic'd up. You can't go anywhere, but you get as much food as you want. Everyone's super nice to you. You get to cook your own stuff. You get to work out whenever you want. You have a pool. So you got to have the good and the bad at the same time. And there's a lot of extra stuff going on, but you got to stay focused, but also be a part of it. Don't try and fight that extra stuff, because if you fight it, you're fighting it in your head instead of just like example, one time we were cutting weight, and right before weigh-ins we had to do the coaches thing. We had to do the coaches. So we're watching basketball when I'm cutting weight, thinking about I have the biggest weight cut of my life, and I'm watching basketball. But instead of doing that, I was like, no, I gotta like be a part of the moment. This is everyone's doing this, so like do it with it. And it changed my mindset, made it like an easier process. So I think that's something that I would be in it. Don't fight it.
I can only imagine, man. That's good
Yeah,
friends.
it's tough for sure. But
Good friends with a couple like Petrosky. I'm good friends with, and just hearing the stories, like, oh man, you guys are crazy. But it worked out for you, so
yeah,
congratulations.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Ryan, I always give you guys last word. Anything you'd like to say? But before you do that, do you have a dog on your lap?
Oh, Nala.
What's up, Nala? Good girl.
She's got her hood on. My girlfriend makes these.
I'm not going to show my wife, or else she'll order a bunch, and I'll be looking at my dog like, "Here, come
Well,
on."
you need them.
Well, Ryan, anything you and Nala want to say to all the fans before we get out of here?
uh, be kind, be nice, love each other. Um, yeah, it's too short not to. So I know I'm a fighter, but it's be kind to each other. That's
Hey,
it.
I like that. That's a nice switch up from a UFC fighter. Not going to get into that there. But ladies and gentlemen, be on the lookout for a UFC debut, hopefully coming very soon. Mr. Ryan Loder, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Jake.